Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new. Make sure that you subscribe before you leave, that way you'll never miss out on another reading. I do a free pick a card reading on my channel every single Friday. Okay, so today is the new moon. Today's the new moon in Gemini. If you guys missed it, I did upload a video where I talk about 5 things you should know to be ready for this new moon we're having. And that video should be linked down below. But today we're going to be talking about any messages that this new moon in Gemini has for us. So what do we need to know? What I'm going to need you guys to do is pick a pile number or pick a symbol. So you're going to pick pile number 1 or the Labradorite crystal, pile number 2 or the Angel Aura quartz crystal, pile number 3 or the abalone shell, pile number 4 or the pyrite crystal. So whichever one you are more drawn to, go ahead and pick that one and let's get into the reading. Pile number 1, or for everybody that picked the Labradorite heart crystal, let's go ahead and see what is this new moon in Gemini bringing for you specifically. Okay, the first card we have here is to trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So we have right next to it romance, and then right under it we have dance. So there's this energy of movement, of like you're allowing yourself to flow with the energy that this new moon is bringing, and this new moon is bringing you romance. Lavish the one you love with the personal attention and affection. So you're going to feel like you need more balance in your romance, in your love life. So you're going to be taking back a lot of your attention from other places and areas of your life where it's just draining you, and you're going to be focusing a lot more on romance and intimacy and love. The next 3 cards we have here are a whirlwind of changes that this new moon is bringing you. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to freak out or get scared, because these changes are ultimately bringing you to follow that itch that you have, to follow that instinct you have, to follow this like passion you have. And this passion has something to do with your love life. So what's going to happen is this Gemini new moon, it's bringing change. It's bringing like fast change, okay? And it's bringing change in a way where you are unbound. This is happening in a very intense way. So this is not a subtle change, and you guys can feel it. Something has shaken things up, and it's changing. Things are not the same. Things are moving along. It's shifting. You can feel it. You can see it. Things are moving quick. And a lot of things are happening that are very related to the Tower card in Tarot. And in the Tower card, basically what happens is everything changes. Your whole world is turned upside down, and your mentality is shifting. The things in your life are changing. It's just change, but in a way where the chains are coming off. You know, the things that were holding you down are just not going to be holding you down anymore. You know, the things that were holding you back and had a hold on you, basically, you're freeing yourself from all of that. And this is happening with such intensity right now that the universe wants you to know, this new moon wants you to know that throughout all of this darkness, there is a little like nudge within you, and it's time for you to listen to that nudge, because it's going to lead you to yourself and not keep you in the dark. So the next card that we have here is Dance and Voyage of the Heart, and then we have Honor the Masculine. Okay, so this is telling me that so every person has a feminine energy and a masculine energy within them. And sometimes when we're off balance, we can become too much in our masculine energy, and maybe a symptom of that is you're way too fiery. Or you can be way too much in your feminine aspect, and then a symptom of that is that you're way too nice and you're almost like a pushover. So in this case, it seems like you're way too much in the feminine. It could be one of two things. You're way too much in your feminine energy, where you're not speaking up for yourself, and this Gemini new moon is going to make you speak up for yourself. It's going to change that aspect of you where you heavily are dominated by your feminine energies. And you kind of shut off and suppress that part of yourself that is protective and aggressive and speaks up for themselves, you know, is a protector and a provider, is independent. Those masculine qualities of yourself, I feel like either something happened in your childhood, somebody taught you something, or whatever it is that you kind of suppress that masculine energy from yourself. So what's going to happen is this change is coming where you're going to start to honor that masculine energy. So again, this could have been like you're way too much in your feminine energy, or it could have been that all of the masculine roles in your life were negative, or they hurt you, or they betrayed your trust or something, where they kind of traumatized you into not looking at any masculine energy outside of yourself as something you could trust. So for a lot of you, you may have trouble trusting men or somebody that is more masculine. So what's happening now is there's a change coming where you can honor and respect that masculine energy outside of yourself. For a lot of you, it's also that you had to become the masculine energy yourself. You had to become the protector and provider yourself, and so you kind of suppressed your feminine energy. So definitely change is coming where you balance and merge the two, and the focus is very intensely going to be on your love life. Now we have traveling lightly and unknown territory. So if you are drawn to the Labradorite crystal, Labradorite is the stone of synchronicity. It's the stone of magic. What it does is it brings synchronicity and coincidence into your life so that you can be in the right place at the right time to get what you want. So here we have traveling lightly, simplify your life. So this is a message the new moon in Gemini is bringing you. Let me just let my cat out 1 second. She is scratching the door. So basically everything that happens during my readings, I always take it as a sign or a symbol from the universe. So for my cat to be scratching, to be let out, I do feel like there's something within you that is scratching to be let out. And another thing is you're being called to declutter, to simplify your life, you know, not have too much stuff, too much materialistic stuff, not hoard things you don't need. A lot of decluttering is going to be happening during this new moon time. And another thing is you're not going to be afraid to walk into the unknown. For a lot of you, this has to do with your love life. There's a lot that you're going to be walking into where you don't know the outcome. You're just following your heart. You are following your heart. You're following the excitement. You're following that little nudge. Things are changing where you're not going to suppress yourself from following those nudges anymore. So things are going to be moving. Love is going to flow through you and to you because you're no longer going to restrict yourself from it. So that is what the new moon in Gemini is bringing for you guys, pile number 1. If you want to book a reading with me, you can book one on Etsy. Right now, my wait time is about 2 weeks out. I just want to let you guys know that. So yeah, go ahead and visit my Etsy if you want to book a reading, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye. For everybody that picked card group number 2 or the Angel Aura Quartz, let's go ahead and see what is this new moon in Gemini bringing for you. Okay, so excuse that is my dog trying to get into the room. Okay, so the first card that we have here is Answer the Call. Okay, so anything that happens in my readings, if you guys have gotten a reading from me or have been watching me for a while, I always take everything as a sign and a symbol, and I kind of mingle it into the reading. So for that, all that commotion outside of my door right now with my dog, I do feel like there's commotion kind of energy coming through with this reading for you guys, pile number 2. So answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Because what your soul is calling you to do is leading you to a place of self-mastery. I feel like a lot of you have put in a lot of work into your spiritual growth. And I also see that in the journey of you focusing so much on your spiritual growth, you actually neglected a lot of your family and your loved ones. I think you took a lot of time out for yourself to go inwards. And yeah, you took shelter to go inwards. This is very similar to the Hermit card in tarot. And it's all about going within and finding your own light and like finding your reason and your purpose for existing. And I do feel like you took the time out to do that, and you gained a level of self-mastery. Now you're going into this new rebirth, right? You're going into this new energy where you are thinking about your family and your loved ones and like people in your life that you truly care about, that are genuine relationships, that are real, loyal relationships. Now you want to focus on that. You want to nurture it and you want to feed it, and you just want to experience a lot of happiness in these relationships that mean so much to you. With this rebirth, this card right here reminds me of the Strength card in tarot, and the Strength card reminds me of Durga energy. And if you're familiar with Hindu deities, Durga sits on top of the lion or the tiger, and it just symbolizes that you tame your beast, you know, tame your shadows, your darkness. So I do see that that's why we have self-mastery here, that you really went within and tamed a lot, like you tamed a lot of bullshit, and you tamed a lot of your shadows and your darknesses. You worked through a lot of things, and now you can hear what it is that you're being called to do. You no longer see your calling as a huge mountain that you have to climb and like struggle to get to the top. Now, because of this work that you put in and the demons you really faced within yourself, now the mountains are going to crumble at your feet. But you have to decide to take that journey. The next three cards we have here is receptivity, slowing down, and postponement. So there was a postponement. There was a lag, a stagnant energy when it came to you choosing your path. And I think you were going way too fast. I feel like there was a moment of burnout, and that's what caused you to go within and master yourself. And you took the shelter and you found your way. And now you're leaving that comfort zone. So this is telling a story. Now there was a lag. There was a stagnant energy, and now the energy is moving. Now the energy is circulating. It's shifting now. It's no longer stuck. Now, these two cards are about your path in life, whether that has to do with the relationship, a career, move, and like something is pushing you away from your comfort zone. And what it is, it's your calling, and you're going to choose that path. Right now, I think a lot of you are just looking and you're afraid because you are going to be leaving the familiar, leaving what you've always known, leaving your comfort zone. But you're going to leave your comfort zone. And another thing is, there's a period of slowing down. I feel like your life has been so fast-paced that now it's finally slowing down. And when you are able to slow down, you will be receptive to the messages in your own mind, the messages from your own higher self. And the answers are within. You're going to find the answers within yourself of what you want to be doing, which path you want to head down, what your soul is calling you to do. And you're going to be able to choose that step and choose that path and begin that step into that path. The next two cards that we have are aromatherapy and water flight. So there's a lot of heaviness that you are releasing. A lot of burdens are cast away. There's this weightlessness, and it's because of this self-mastery energy, because you went within and you really faced a lot and healed a lot within yourself. So I hope that this reading gave you a little bit of clarity and guidance. This is what the new moon is bringing you. It's beautiful energy. So if you guys want to book a reading with me, you can do so on my Etsy shop, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye. For everybody that picked pile number 3 or the abalone shell, let's go ahead and see what the Gemini new moon is bringing you. Okay, so we have unbound, and right next to that we have love endures, then we have transparency, then we have wandering path, rejuvenating rain. The first line of cards here is basically a cleansing that is happening with this new moon. There's a cleansing, there's a purification, and there's like a purging and releasing of something that has to do with your love life. You're being unbound. And this is something to do with your relationship or your love life, and this goes for singles and everybody that's in a relationship as well. Chains are coming off, releasing soul patterns that were created from trauma and pain and hurt. Even like contracts that you had with yourself from past lives that you're carrying over and over and over again. It was a cycle. It was like a karmic cycle that was not breaking. This Gemini new moon is pushing it into breaking, clearing the past and healing the present, and really moving on and moving forward and leaving the past in the past and no longer being bound to anything or anyone. Another thing that I see here is transparency and wandering path, and love endures. So love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. This right here goes against your belief system. Group number 3, you guys have a hard time believing that love doesn't give up, that love is so strong, and that love can withstand any and every situation. You want that kind of love, but because of past conditioning, you have a very hard time believing that it exists. So what you're being called to do is do a little bit of abundance planning and not focus so much on the end result of what it is you want your love life to look like. The universe is telling you right now, this Gemini new moon, Gemini is very, very magical. It's very majestic. So Gemini is telling you, this Gemini new moon is telling you to believe in magic, okay? Learn to flow right now. Kind of just go with the flow. And I want you to be very, very transparent. I want you to speak your mind. I want you to be honest and genuine. I want you to start to live more in this moment. I want you to stop focusing on the future and stop tormenting yourself from the things of the past. And I want you to start to enjoy this journey. And that's the cleansing that's happening right now, is you are really getting rid of like a lot of negativity and a lot of things that were just holding you down. And a lot of it had to do with past conditioning, things you were taught, things you were holding on to that was coming in the way of you and your love life. So something that I would recommend is journaling or do a vision board that has everything to do with love. So what you want to attract in your love life, the places you want to visit with your partner, the things you want to experience, the foods you want to try. Like, get down into the weird details of it. Because the more personal you can make this vision board, the more your subconscious mind just goes to work even more, because it's familiar and you just build this resonance with it. So really connect with your vision board and get creative with it. Another thing you could do is burn bay leaves, but definitely plan out what it is you want your love life to look like. Okay, the last 2 cards we have here is sorrow, and then we have flowering. So something that has been causing you to feel sorrowful and down and low is that you are not enjoying your journey. You are not enjoying your life. You're focused very much on the end result, and you're just focused on what's going to happen and the outcome. And you're just like this man, he's holding his head in his hands. He's vulnerable, he's crying, he's filled with sorrow. He feels like the walls are closing in on him, and he's just focused on all his sorrow. Meanwhile, the doors are opening up behind him, and he has the entire universe at his fingertips, but he doesn't see it. So I think this is what's going on with you, and the Gemini new moon is going to make you turn around and bloom in abundance. It's going to bring you everything you want from your love life. Another thing that I do want to mention to you guys is abalone shell. You guys are very drawn to the abalone shell. This is a message of allure and beauty. So this Gemini new moon is going to make a lot of you focus on your outer appearance and, you know, I don't know, like doing your eyebrows, painting your nails, and like self-maintenance and self-pampering. That's going to be something a lot of you will focus on, is outer beauty, your physical appearance. Another thing I do want to say is with this Gemini new moon, you got the rejuvenating rain card. So it's really good idea to use water to do a cleansing. So baths, showers, foot soaks, something to do with water, like hot tub, swimming pool, jacuzzi, if you have one in your house. We are in like quarantine, so you don't want to go to a public pool or anything. But yeah, so I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and guidance. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to book a reading with me, go over to Etsy and you can book one there, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye. For everybody that picked pile number 4 or the Pyrite crystal, hear what I see. From just the cards that I'm looking at right off the bat is a lot of energy that has to do with your love life. This has to do with re-emerging from something that happened in your love life that was creating blocks and struggles. This has to do with a lot of the things that was going on that you felt like was out of your control, that you felt like you were compromising, you felt like you were giving up a lot of who you are and a lot of what you love. And there's a lot of things coming with this Gemini new moon. So let's get into it. Let's start. First thing I see here is the Sisterhood of the Rose card. This is all about beauty and devotion, becoming a priestess, a mystic, a teacher. So what I see here is when it comes to your love life, you've experienced so much that you could write a book. You've experienced so much that you could like entertain for days and days and days with the stories that you have. So this is saying that, you know, look for the beauty in your stories. I do feel like when you tell your stories, you tell it in a way where you're very aware and you're very open about it. You're very open about, you know, talking about things that have happened with you. And this has a lot to do with your love life. And what I'm seeing here is that it's important for you to start to look for the good that happened instead of focusing on, you know, the pain of it and the bad, you know, because here's the thing. This Gemini new moon is going to allow you to get to the heart of the matter of your previous relationship. So there was something in your previous relationship that is making you currently struggle in your love life. So sometimes we develop habits or lifestyle changes or like emotional patterns, ways of coping, triggers, you know, anxieties from our past relationships, you know. So when we come into a new relationship or, you know, we're trying to move on, sometimes it's hard because we are holding on to that past trauma. And so what I see is that you are now letting that go and you're now able to get to the heart of it, look at it face to face, and it's no longer going to make you feel bad. It's like you are becoming this mystic and this priestess, which you have power over this memory now. And it's a memory that it's a part of you and you own it and you're proud, like whatever it was, and it's a part of your story. And I see a lot of pride coming with this new moon for you. Another thing that I see is celebration. So if you are in a relationship, I see some fun times, some celebrations, some joyous moments, some nice like dates. Even though we're in quarantine, it's going to be like some nice at-home date nights or something, but definitely something fun and like celebration, and it's going to be between you and your partner. Now, if you are single, what I see here is a celebration where you are just going to have a fun time, a really, really fun time. This Gemini new moon is bringing fun and celebration and just laughter and cheer. And it's really because you've really faced something that you needed to face that was getting in the way of your relationship. whatever this was, they stemmed from your past relationship, was making you compromise things you didn't really want to compromise. And so you felt like you were being kind of controlled, like the other party or like your partner was controlling you. But in reality, it was kind of in your head, and you were actively participating in that role, and you were creating your reality like that. So now what's happening with this Gemini new moon is you're taking back your control, you're taking back your power, and your home life and your domestic life is going to change in a way where you're going against society, kind of you're going against the grain, going against the things you've been taught, and you're beginning a whole new cycle where you are not going to stay inside looking outside anymore. So here there was a period of darkness within, right? You see inside of the castle it's dark, and you were standing there inside, and then you're looking out at all the possibilities. So finally, instead of looking for so long, now you're going to stop compromising the things that you want to compromise, get control back of your life, and then you're going to leave. And you're walking away from something that was really coming in the way of your love life. And there's a transformation happening. And a fresh new way of living is going to emerge. So your mentality is shifting into fresh new ways of thinking. Your life is changing, because as within, so without. So with these changes that are going within, this Gemini new moon is really going to affect your physical reality too. It's going to make your physical reality match your spiritual reality. So what you feel inside is actually very pleasure-based. You like to feel good. You like to give yourself things that feel good. And very in the material world, like this is like Taurus energy, where you like things that feel good. You like food that tastes good. You like to indulge yourself. So I do see you're connecting with this aspect of yourself more with this Gemini full moon or Gemini new moon. You're no longer going to feel guilty. You're going to celebrate that part of yourself, and you're going to allow yourself to indulge, because you've been compromising for so long, and the time is now for you to walk out and venture out and try new things and start anew. So you're going to start to see a lot of abundance and shine and sparkle energy, like a lot of just your love life coming back to life kind of energy. That's the energy of the Pyrite crystal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and it gave you some clarity and guidance. Happy new moon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you real soon.